Good afternoon, everyone, from a soaking wet, soggy, floating North Texas for a Monday, August 22nd, 2022. This is episode 8 of the Bob Randall and Company Live. Everyone, please say hello to my illustrious co-host, Mr. Randy Wagner.
Hello, everybody. Good to see everybody. Welcome. Good to see you. Hey, Dad. Good to see everybody. Welcome to another Monday night, Monday afternoon. Does that feel like that long of a day already?
For me, for me, it's a short day. We had, let's just jump right on into the weather since we kind of mentioned it to start off with. We have had torrential, tropical rain here for the last 24 hours. And I know this is going to be hard for folks to believe, but we have a rain gauge. And in the last 24 hours here on the east side of downtown Dallas, we have got close to 18 inches of rain. Even our major interstates are flooded where the creeks and rivers have risen up above the interstates. Downtown Dallas has a lot of low-lying underpasses, all flooded. Cars down there that you can just barely see the roofs sticking up out of the water. So it's been quite crazy here. Stayed up until the worst of it was passed through this morning about 5. Finally laid down, got back up at 12:30 today. So it's been a short day for me.
Yeah, 18. I mean, how can you? That doesn't go anyplace. Like you guys have had that heat for weeks, so everything's dry. So the first how many inches was runoff, and so that flooding has got to be. I hate to say it, flooding's got to be rough.
Unbelievable. It's once in a 200-year flood is what the meteorologists here in Dallas are saying and calling it. So crazy. It just kind of came in over the whole northern part of Texas, from New Mexico all the way to Texarkana, Arkansas, and Louisiana, and just sat there on top of us for all day yesterday, all through the night last night. It's finally stopped raining at this moment. We're still getting a little bit of drizzle out there, but I think we're on the backside of it. It's finally moving out.
We've been very fortunate here in Michigan. It's been, I think it was 84 today. We had a little rain last night, a little bit, not much. The grass is beautiful green. I did have to put the air on this afternoon. I have relatives coming in town from Canada, so I had to put the air on for them to make sure it stays a little cooler in the house. But great to see everybody. My God, can you see Bob? We got a lot of great people on already. Ted and Ray and AJ, how you doing? Eric and Moishe are on again. Santa Tom, great to see everybody. Hey, Nathan. I thought I saw Nathan on there somewhere. Great to see everybody. Happy Monday.
Fantastic. Jackie Chamberlain's on with us. Jackie. Okay, so, we were talking to weather. We'll extend that a little bit further. We had almost 2 months of 100-plus temperature, no rain for about a little over 2 months, no rain at all. And today it's 75 degrees, overcast and flooded. So
it's either one or the other, huh?
Feast or famine. As I told you, I asked my wife a couple of weeks ago to go out back and do a rain dance. I think she overdone
it. Yeah, definitely without a doubt. But I mean, I hope there was nobody. I mean, nobody got hurt. Hopefully, none of that happened, and people didn't lose power in the area. That's always a horrible thing. And I mean, some of the crazy floods you've had further north, and of course, Vegas had those crazy floods going on a couple of weeks ago, where rain's coming inside the casinos and everything. So,
yeah, quite a few folks have posted about roads being underwater. Quite a few folks on this side of town actually got water that lives close to a creek that rises really quick. Water in their houses. There was a couple of small, quick, lived spin up tornadoes just south and southeast of Dallas early this morning, in the middle of the night, actually, whatever you want to call it. And no damage, real damage done there. But hey, watch what you wish for.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well,
I'm glad that you finally turned your air on. Of course, here, if we turn our air off, it's a worthy news to everyone because we always run our air. It's always so hot here in the summer, but fantastic. You say you got some guests coming in tonight. That's going to be fun. So
yeah, I haven't seen my relatives. They live in Canada. I haven't seen them since before the COVID. So it's been a few years. So they're actually in the other room just down the hall. I heard him come in. So
very good.
They knew I'd be hanging on here for a little while. So
Fantastic. Okay, moving on. Let's move on to the next thing on the agenda here. We're going to call this something burger. Something burger. This falls in line with the tagline that we've set this show up around. The show about nothing, and then we added with a whole lot of something. So something burger fits right into this. It's kind of a hot topic, and I'll go ahead and turn it over to Randy and let him talk about what the topic is and give us a little summary about it. Randy, it's yours.
Yeah, this topic today is about the something that kind of is a little different than Santa, but it's the American Clown Academy. There was it just happened last week, and it's surprising how many Santas were at it last week. Lee Edwards did teaching. He's a professional Santa, of course. Michael Howe and Michael Bauer from here in Maps up here in Michigan, and Roger, that gentleman that does the Kringle Tracker, also was at it, and a few others. A really talented elf, and even talented elf, but he does clowning too. He worked for Ringling Brothers for years, was at it. But I mean, it is surprising what learning from the Clown Academy can help your Santa character. It can help you stage presence. It can help your timing. It's a cool thing to do. I would suggest going. They're, of course, not again until next year. Next year is again April. I got to get the dates then, actually. April 30th through the 6th of May next year is another one going on. It'd be a great experience for Santas. There was over 50 guys and ladies there this year. A dozen Santas. Leon McBride was there. Stephen Gillum was there. So, very well-known Santas 10, because they were both clowns also. They both worked for Ringling Brothers for years. So they have a clown background, but they understand the connection between your performance as Santa portraying and your stage presence of being a clown. Now, you're not going to be funny. You're not going to do pratfalls. You're not going to throw pies in the face. But the timing and the routining of it is just a real asset. So I suggest going.
Yeah, and taking it kind of to the next level, learning stage presence, like you said, improv. Improv is everything to the clowning community. Of course, you're well prepared and you go into it with an idea of what you're going to do, but improv, playing off each other, and you can do a lot of that stuff by taking a improv class. Community colleges have classes sometimes. Reach out and find where there's a comedy club in your area, and you can always even go and pick up a thing or two, a tip, going to a comedy club. It's amazing how all these arts kind of, as different as they are, they still kind of have everything, some similarities.
What I had a teacher tell me to do years ago is, well, it wasn't that many years ago because it was when Zoom was around. But they said it seems kind of funny to do it, but you get a couple of topics and you literally video tape yourself doing those topics. If it's being a strong man or if it's whatever it might be, the improv and the fluidness you learn, then all of a sudden you watch yourself. Well, that was pretty so, or I didn't emphasize that I was being strong man enough or something. You learn from that, because we are actors, there's no doubt about it. And that's what improv is acting.
That's right. That's right. Off the cuff. Michael Howell had mentioned, I believe when he was on the show, or maybe it was a conversation he and I had, but he had mentioned about how him and Michael Bauer and you and Roger Minton, you guys periodically once a week, sometimes not as often, sometimes more often, get together and do these little improv sessions, and how it's improved each one of you's presence, camera presence, and improv skills. So fantastic.
A few years ago, Michael Howe and I did we did it back and forth. I was Santa. He played a 5-year-old boy. Then we switched back and forth, and I played a 5-year-old boy, and he played it. I mean, it just tightens your skills up so much. Find a friend, find a grandchild to do it with. Have them talk to you and just videotape it and just have fun with it. But yeah, I mean, that's what's cool about maps is we do keep that going up here like crazy. We do it. I mean, I got to be thankful for every one of the guys and ladies that put their heart and soul out to making us all better. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. It really is. Thank you guys so much. Really.
Yes, it is. Back earlier this year when I had my Sat Bob's class here in North Texas, Eric and Moesha Elliott came and we did an improv session. I had my big Santa chair there, and I was the Santa. Santa Dolphus Lee was the child, and again playing a 5 or 6 year old, and boy, he's perfect for that role. And we went on for quite a few minutes. I think I've told this story once before, either on this show or Tuesday Night Live. But Eric and Moesha were standing up, and they're at the back of the room, and they're watching, soaking it all in. And all of a sudden, I see Moesha's hand go up, and I think, okay, she's got a question. So I went to her, and she says, "Can I come up here and join in?" Well, of course you can. Oh my goodness, she was such a natural. She set the whole room on fire. And it's amazing. Even folks who are getting started, first year, second year, third year, have things to offer. So reach out to anyone and everyone and take advantage of what each other can teach and share.
That is the bottom line. That's what when everybody gets together for any of these schools and all that, that connection, even after you just tell stories, and like that just happened. People, it's an amazing community. It really is. Somebody asked the other day on one of the clown sites, in fact, well, what is a real clown? I said, well, it's kind of like just like Santa. It all starts from here. How do you find Santa? How do you find a clown? It all starts with the heart and what you want to put into it.
Yeah, an important part of all of what we're talking about is you've got to get outside your comfort zone. If you stay within your comfort zone, that's where you will stay. And so you've got to force yourself to do things that you're not comfortable in doing. And you don't do them because you don't have that experience and you're not real sure. Your mindset is in a different place. But, you just got to go with the flow, let it go. If you mess up, you mess up. That's what improv is. You can always change it, make it better, learn from it. There's so many aspects that they come into play, and all very valuable lessons.
There's so many Santas out there, Mrs. Clauses, that will help if you're interested in storytelling, let's say, and you're afraid of storytelling. Put a thing out that says, hey, look, I want to learn or something. There'll be plenty of people offering help. So like Bob says, it's out of your comfort zone. Boom. Just think how fantastic it would be once you learn how to do that, and how much happier and exciting the children will be in families, and how much more you can sell yourself as Santa because one more thing that you weren't doing before.
Exactly. And how much you grow off of that each time you do it too. So, all right, Randy, let's move on. Let's go ahead and let's do our trivia at this point.
Cool. Trivia. We got to run the thing.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Don't forget to check out their sister site, MrsClausJewels.com, where Mrs. Claus Janice is a leading supplier for Mrs. Claus, elves, and Santa jewelry, knickknacks, and accessories. Both Tom and Janice are passionate about exceeding your expectations, bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Visit their sites at santascloset.org and MrsClausJewels.com. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
All right, before I turn this over to Randy for the trivia question, just want to give a real quick shout out to Mr. Ken Smith. And I personally want to thank you, Ken, for the private message that you sent me. It was such heartfelt, and it really did my soul some good. Like I told you in my response back, I'm always here for you, brother. All right, Randy, over to you.
Cool. We're going to keep in the same venue we've been doing the last week or so. It's about from Hallmark movies. The question is, besides the United States, what other country is often used in Hallmark Christmas films? Besides the United States, what other country is often used in a film, a Hallmark Christmas film? It's a cool, it's now speaking of Christmas, after you think about that thing, can you believe, guys, it's only 125 more days to Christmas Day? 125. That's crazy. And only 76 days till November 4th. So all you get, folks, guys and girls that are starting early, 76 days.
I've got a tentative
That's
shoot.
controlled fear, I think, but I'm not sure.
I got a tentative shoot October 1st and 2nd. Hadn't 100% confirmed that yet, but even at that, the second week in October, all the way up till I start at the mall, my weekends are full. So,
yeah, you're starting way before October 5th. That's fantastic. That photo shoot stuff. Not this won't be white until final. I think I get my last bleaching the 3rd of November. So then it's a crazy year this year for magic. I just booked another holiday harvest weekend here. So
wow,
it's going to be a busy weekend. I'm going across the state over Labor Day. I'm going bing bang and back and forth across the state and everything, doing balloons over there, then doing shows here and festival here in Royal Oak and Michigan. And it's great. I love it. I love every minute of it.
All right, just a reminder, folks, the official trivia rules are pinned to the top of the group page on the Tuesday Night Live show page, Facebook page. If you're in doubt or just want a quick read, you can always go over and catch up on the official trivia rules. All right, so we'll give the answer further down into the show. And that was a fantastic question. I love that question. Good. So at this point, let's do the outside of this, and we'll see you on the other side real quick. All right, Randall, let's grab a couple of these comments over here real quick. Ted Planner wants to know, where can we find your schedule?
Oh, I will definitely post it on online where I'm going to be at Arts Beats and Eats in Canterbury Village for a couple days, and Bob's Discount Furniture. Yeah, Bob's Discount Furniture, and a couple other. I'll be at the Detroit Zoo and Toledo Zoo and all over. It'll be great fall season. Thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you.
All right. So Rex Ray says, did a birthday party yesterday. Have photo shoots every weekend in October, then in the chair for November, December. I saw the photos, Rex, from your birthday party yesterday. How precious was that? Glad to see you. Gosh, man, you're only at 2.5 weeks or so post-op on the heart surgery there, doing a fantastic job. Glad that you're back up, active, and everything's well with you. Scott Martin Kovich, I believe you guys are out in California. Say hello to everyone out that way for us. And okay, so Ray, we still haven't put a date together. I have been super busy. That's something that we'll put together. Looks like we may have to push that into September, maybe the second week in September. I'll get with you just as soon as I can get that set up. And that's for the Texas State Santas, is what Ray is asking about.
Fun.
Me. I had first told everyone we'd have it this month, but this month has been like crazy busy with everything going on. And so sometimes just have to push things back a week or two. All right, Randy, let's see here. So let's go ahead and preview the Tuesday Night Live show for tomorrow night. I'll get us started August 23rd. That'll be with Santa Bill Dindy. He is Taylor, Santa Taylor LLC. He is a seamster, does high-end Santa suits, costuming, if you want to call it that. I like to call it a business suit myself. And in our upcoming shows after that, Randy, you can take it from there if you'd like.
Well, then August 30th, a week after that, end of the month already. August 30th is Santa Nana University. Incredible. Those ladies are doing an incredible job, not just teaching Mrs. Clauses. I mean, they do a great job then, Dina and Judy, but they do. I mean, as Santa, you've got to come see it because they've got tips that make our performance better and thought process. So that's on August 30th, Santa Nana University. Then September 6th, right after the Labor Day weekend, is Kat. Again, going to do ALS, kind of an upgraded version. Going to go over briefly what she did the last time, some of the basics, Santa and boy, girl, and things like that. And what is it? Love you. I always have to fresh myself up on them, but she'll go over the basics again. Then she's going to get a little bit more in depth in some really, really unique things. Like I know I say it every week when I talk about her, but man, I get chills. And I saw her, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, sing Silent Night, and she's just, it gives me chills to watching and hearing. It's a phenomenal. So you can't miss Kat. Then the 13th of September, the middle of September already, is Santa Carlucci and Jenny Lee. They'll be talking about the Carlucci way. Again, a really new, unique way of training. Most schools, you go there, you read a book or you see a PowerPoint or a video, whatever it is. But the Carlucci way is totally different. You will watch the video of what happens, let's say of a live home visit. Then they discuss it afterwards. Then they depict each park and they depict each part of the visit. It's a different way. The Carlucci way is. It's going to be neat to hear more about it from them. Besides, they do so many cool things in Renaissance Festival. And then the 20th, because it's getting so close to the holiday season, Cherry Hill programs. Of course, they take care of how many. I have no idea how many hundreds. What they say in there, 1,200 Santas is going to be again this year at least, booking for that many malls. So again, they have a different than because you become a Cherry Hill employee, which they'll talk about that anyway. But again, they're always looking for people, full-time, part-time. Opportunities are incredible being a recruiter for Cherry Hill. So I think I got everybody in there. Let me check.
Yeah, you did. And Cherry Hill has, I think, 700 plus malls still to this date. And most of those malls are now split chairs. So that's 2 Santas per mall. And so those Santas add up pretty fast. It's amazing. They really get started March and recruit all the way down up to the season, trying to make sure that they've got all their bases covered. Now, I'm not real sure, but I know that when I talked to Becky Gilstrap last time, and this was before we went to Branson, I haven't contacted her in a while, but she had spoke that thought they was going to have a couple of the other folks on with them this time. So it may not just be Becky and Ruby. It may be Lonnie, and it may be, some of the other girls that work there, Crystal or Andrea, or they're in the recruiting office. So we may get some new faces, get some new answers, and get to meet some new people. So that's going to be fun. And again, what a schedule, man. And I'm like you. It just seemed like yesterday was August 1st, and here we are already third week in August. I mean, these weeks are flying by. Again, if you're not prepared for the Santa season, you better get busy because it's coming quick.
Yeah, and that's why you've got some great coming up the next few weeks. You've got training, you might as well say Carlucci and of course Santa Nana, they're both training. You've got, Kat is such an additional, you got suits tomorrow night, and you got recruiting on the 20th of September. So the next few weeks, we've got it all. If you're looking for something on your Tuesday nights, got it all. Don't miss.
Absolutely. And Deanna Golden, Santa Ana Holiday University, mentioned to me that they were implementing some new stuff that they had was working on and was going to start putting that out there. I'm sure she'll have an announcement on that when they're on the show on the 30th. Okay, Randy, moving on again. Let's go ahead and give the trivia answer for today. And I'm going to give that to you because you have special guest in the house. And this kind of ties into that. You told me before the show.
Yeah, like I said, I have some special guests that I have not seen since COVID because they live in Canada. And that is the answer for the thing today is Canada. My relatives are from Canada, and they finally could come over this time of year to visit. Actually, they call it holiday. It's not a visit or vacation. They're on holiday. Um, but it's kind of was a small world that Bob put together a question about Canada, and they're here today, my relatives. So it's wonderful. But the answer is Canada. I'm sure we can find them somewhere in the list there. Somebody's had to say the right name.
Well, yes, as soon as we got the question out, the answer was already put up.
Yep. Angela is always so good at that kind of stuff, deciphering who's our winner. Thanks, Angela.
Rex Ray was Johnny on the spot. He was right there and had the answer just like that.
Wow.
So, fantastic, Rex. Great. We'll get that over to Tom, and I've got your address, so there's no need to go through that. And AJ says, congratulations, Rex. He knew you won also. So
that's good. And Melissa, it's okay. I'm just glad you're here, Mel. Great to see you.
That's right. You can always catch up on the replay, Melissa. And okay, let's see. Rex says, donate my prize to the next person in line. All right. Well, I don't know if there was a next, but if there is, we will. If not, we'll figure something out. Rex, we'll appreciate that. Thank you so much, sir, as always.
That's a wonderful thing.
Okie dokie. Are we ready for Santa Shorts?
Whoa, ready for Santa Shorts. Let's hope not. I hope they're clean. Hello, everybody. Again, my name is Randy. It's Santa Shorts, that brief peek into the world of Santa. Now, last week I talked about all the different venues that we can do. And of course, that was probably just a small peek at the different venues that Santa can perform at or Mrs. Claus. What goes along with it now, what I wanted to talk about was making your list. No, not the children's list. Making your list to make sure you don't forget anything when you're going. I made this up, and it seems like I redo it every year because this is an older one. I couldn't find sanitizer on here. Actually, this must be a little older. But I actually just made a list ahead of time so I don't forget, because many years ago I was doing a parade, and I get there, and of course I have to change when I'm there, and I go, I forgot my hat. You know, it's like Santa can't, do a parade down the street without a hat. So thank goodness one of the reindeer handlers had an extra hat. I put a hat that didn't match my suit, but if you make yourself a list, and I laminate it, and I just use a erasable marker on it, you won't forget it. Now, you're not going to need these things for every performance, like it says on here for Santa chair. Now, I don't need it to bring my Santa chair for every event, but I know that sometimes if I'm doing a country club and I offer my chair, I make sure I bring it. But it's just the basics even. The boots, the pants, the suspenders. Because sometimes we have to change where I'm backwards. There we go. That's the problem with this thing, There we go. No, the other way. There you go. Now that's better. That was bothering me. Sorry, guys. I use new conditioner and the hair is just not the same. But just put the basics on there too. Of course, I start out with the major topics. Contract. Don't forget your contract. And of course, don't forget your smile. That is probably the two most things that I just look at, and you're not going to forget your smile, but it reminds me every time I've got to look at this to remember those two major things. Like I said, I have very basic things on there: boots, pants, suspenders, coats, hat, glasses, a couple of pair just in case, buckle, all the basics. I got under 6 pairs of gloves to make sure. My bells, do I want small bells? Do I want the big bells if it's then? Do I need my big big bag? Do I need my small bag, red bag? It just, do I need, am I doing a, well, in fact, let's, like this is what I call my small carry bag that I keep full. I make sure I have my books, make sure that they're always in there. Of course, I love this because most children don't know what a music box is anymore. And it's just a wonderful thing to play a music box. Isn't it crazy? In our area, that was the way we listen to music, but a lot of children are just fascinated by a little music box. But little things like that you're used to keeping, or that goes along with your character as Santa, bring it along. Oh, this I know is kind of the funny stuff, but went to a dollar store and I got, make sure you got all the other goodies in there. Chapstick, mask, business cards, emery board, all those kind of things you need with you. You never know when you're going to, break a nail. You never know when you're going to need a Kleenex. Always have that, and make sure those are on your list. And of course, some of us have to spray. But I've got I can put this out if somebody wants to see it. You can make your own, of course, because mine says magic and things like that, which I make sure I don't forget, or some of my little funny cards. And people always ask some of my funny cards, and these are probably my, because Santa likes to show his pride and joy. You all have your pride and joy, don't you, at home? Of course, that's Santa's pride and joy. Well, Joy's got a very bubbly personality. No, okay. Of course, most people don't know that Santa does have kids. Oh, I know we should call them children, but Santa does have kids. Billy and Nanny. Billy. Okay. Santa Shorts is calling it quits. No, but it's something that we got to make sure we do is the list. Don't forget that. It's very, very, very important. If it's hairspray, if it's your rouge or blush, whatever you call it, I still call it rouge, and I think I'm correct that every time. Chapstick, mints, of course, all those goodies that we don't want to forget, and we don't want to be shorthanded when we're there. Of course, something to drink, snacks. Sometimes we can be gone for 12, 14 hours a day, 2, 3 events, 5 events, 10 events a day, so we got to make sure we don't forget anything. And I always go on the bottom, like I said, the list. Don't forget my jolly and don't forget my happy, because that's something we can't forget. That is more than important than remember the chapstick or the second pair of glasses. So that is very, very important. We will go on a little further on each one of the venues. We're going to walk through a house visit real soon, and how we address that, how I address that, and a virtual visit and things like that. But I can post this or make one of your own. I definitely recommend it. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Getting a little small peek into Santa's world. See you soon.
Fantastic tips there, Randy. And again, being prepared is everything in our business. And also, like I mentioned earlier, time is really getting past us quick. So it's important to put those kind of things together. Make sure you got all your stuff ready to go out the door each and every day. And, you mentioned the little bag with all the goodies in it.
Yeah.
Safety pins, extra buttons, needle and thread.
Sewing kit. You got to have all that.
You would be surprised at what you can find in Santa's bags.
Yep.
Fantastic. Great. All right, let's see. Melissa Lynn says, thanks. What a great idea. Erica Moesha, what a great idea. Thanks for sharing. Santa Mark says, good advice. Be prepared. Hello, Mark Walker. Good to see you, brother. All right. Well, that was fun. All right. So we've got the other new that we started a couple of weeks ago. If I was an agent. So let's roll that at this time. All right. So today is if I was an agent, which I'm not, I'm Santa, but you do, as we mentioned last week, sometimes act as your own agent. If you're an independent contractor, entertainer, us that we mentioned. This week, I want to talk about the topic enter at your own risk. Enter at your own risk. And what I mean by that is, even if you're an independent contractor and or you're working for an agency, photo company, big box store, whoever it is, contracts are everything. We've talked about this before in the past, how important contracts are. Just remember that enter at your own risk on contracts because you want to make sure, and I say absolutely sure, that you read the fine print, read completely through every word, every aspect of those contracts. Don't just glance over it, sign it, and walk away from it. You'll end up disappointing yourself at some point in the future if you do. Sometimes there's wording in there that you may not agree with, that you need to go back to the person on the other end that you're communicating with and hash that out. If you don't like the way it's worded, ask them to change it. Get a clarification on it from that particular person. Find a paralegal that can help you understand the lingo. If you can't find a paralegal, get an attorney. If you know an attorney, a friend, or someone who would, advise you in any way, because once you've signed that contract, you are legally bound to fulfill that contract from start date to finish date for the hours that are written inside that contract, for the amount of money. And again, last week we talked about the importance of spelling out on that contract exactly what your duties are, what you're bringing to the table, what props you may be using, and on the other side of that, what the host or company is going to do, what they're responsible for, and what the run of the contract is from, like we say, from start to finish. Just remember, if you sign a contract, you enter at your own risk. Once you put your name on the dotted line, it is binding legally. And that's my If I Was an Agent segment for today.
Now, it is so true. What's on that contract is what they can get you for. So if you sign that contract and well, you've got to agree with everything on there first. If you say something's on there that you don't like, well, they have to remove it. They can't say, "Oh, don't worry about it," because if something happens, I was going to sign a contract for a Santa event for a whole season somewhere, and they said we can change your salary at any moment. And they said, "Oh, it didn't mean Santa." They said it meant for other people that on the thing. It's like, no, that still says on there they can change my salary at any time. So you have to read it, and if you don't like it, of course, don't sign it if you don't want to. But it is legally binding. And then some will say you can't contact people for the rest of your life. You've got to watch on there. There's always a non-compete clause for a lot of them that are usually a few years. But if you're working agencies, they could say you can't work for, I don't know, whatever big chain for the rest of your life, and they could take you to court and sue you for it, or take a percent of your salary the next time you work there. So, like exactly what Bob said, you got to know what you're signing. Go do it at your own risk, and then your responsibility if you are the person that write the contract. Because then I'm writing my own contracts, I better make sure that I fulfill everything on there, because then the client can come back at me. So he's so right. Just be careful, guys.
Yeah, and we're not saying that the agents or the big box stores or anyone is underhanded or doing anything nefarious.
Yeah.
We're just saying that mistakes are made. As Randy mentioned, they mentioned it was for someone else. Well, it's still in a contract, and if you sign it, it still could be used against you. So you want to make sure that it's perfectly clear what, when, where, how, and everything is suitable. Again, don't sign it until you get clarification, and have them strike that out of there and send you a new copy without that wording or terms in there. Going back to a number of years ago when I first started at the mall, Worldwide Photography had a clause that you could not do another chair job within 50 miles of your location.
Wow.
It was considered a conflict of interest. You could do home visits and certain things outside of that, but as the job itself is structured as a mall Santa sitting in a chair, that they wouldn't allow you. For instance, if you were two Santas, you worked the morning shift, you get off at 2, 3 o'clock, you couldn't run down the street to Bass Pro from 4 to 8 or 4 to 7, 4 to 9, whatever, and work if it was within 50 miles, which we have one within miles of our mall. So that was one of the clauses. Another clause that you mentioned was non-compete clauses. Now the non-compete clauses and some of the wording that they've used in the past depends on the state, because some states have taken and struck that out. Says that's not legal. You can't do that. You can't make people sign a contract that says you can't do this or you can't do that. So again, you've got to make sure that for your state, for your local area, for your county that you're in, for the city that you're in. There's so many municipalities that fall under an umbrella. Make sure that the wording is proper for everything that you know. I know it's a lot of work, but guys, I'm telling you, when you're dealing with dollars, you've got to be careful.
Yeah, you can't do any. It can't be anything verbal. Then like that contract I was talking about. They said, oh, verbal, it's okay. No, it's got to be written on that contract. Verbal will not hold up in court. And like Bob said, they're doing it now, so you can't really do the non-compete because that is taking away your livelihood. So they had kind of a hard time really taking that to court with somebody. But it still could just be a big hassle. It can maybe hold you up for a season or a few weeks, and also puts a damper on the whole thing if that is part of the whole thing. If somebody does say you can't, do a work for a big box store or a mall for 2 years or 5 years or 50 miles. I mean, that takes away a lot of our business.
Well, and those all fall under, here in Texas, they passed a law a number of years ago. Now, the reason they don't use that terminology so much is because Texas is a state that has the right to work law. And so that kind of struck that out. But hey, you never know what somebody may try to put in. They may grab an old contract. Like I say, they may not be nefarious in what they're doing. It may be an oversight, but their oversight could cost you if you don't check and make sure. And of course, with legal documents, you can strike an initial and date something out of a contract before it's signed on the other end. You sign it, you send it back, because that's the way it works. If they're hiring you, you sign first, you send it back to them. You just got to make sure that they don't come in behind you once you've signed it and try to change something, because that again would be underhanded, and that wouldn't work. So
yeah, and it's and not saying there's any people out in the business that are underhanded, but things can happen. So just, you've got, like you said, you do it at your own risk, and check twice, like we do. Check it twice at least. And especially then if you're writing your own contracts, just make sure you have everything down to a T, because
and the key word, Randy, you just used, business. This is a business, and you've got to treat it that way. All right, let's go out to the audience. Anyone out there today have any questions, comments, anything they want to chat about, talk about, ask? Don't know how many of you paid that much attention to our opening and our videos that we played throughout. I spent hours yesterday rebranding. Got Bob, Randyl, and company on everything, which was lacking when I first started this show. The first week I called Randy, said, hey, can you come on and be my special guest co-host for the week? He said, absolutely. Brought him in. I knew he was the right person before, but I wanted to make sure he was going to, be okay with the show. After the first week, asking him, hey, can you make this permanent? He said, absolutely. So I've been really busy and hadn't had a chance to rebrand. So everything got rebranded this week. Got all of our new branding on it, and it's always fun, and enjoyed it a lot. And I'm just glad to be past that, and hope that we're here to stay for a long time to come without having to make any other changes for a while.
I hope everybody's enjoying. And I saw Jackie. Yeah, I will definitely post it. Jackie, I saw your little poster, Jack. I will definitely post the list. Jackie, yeah. Thanks, Bob. I mean, it really is. I mean, I've been having a riot, and I thank everybody for joining in and listening and everything else. Really is. It really is. It's an honor and so much fun just to talk this business, because it is a fantastic business. I mean, there are so many amazing. I mean, amazing and talented people out there that I'm just in awe over, and to be connected, it's thank you.
Sometimes you go and you know back in our working days, you would go apply for a job and they would write you back or call you and say, "Well, you're overqualified." Randy, you're overqualified.
No way. No. No, I'm just I will learn until the day I'm done. I know I never, my goodness, like I said, there's so many. I mean, there's Santas out there. I mean, I guess I'll say it this way. They make me believe in Santa. I mean, they're just like, it's Santa. It's like it brings that it just so I and it's just not just Santa. It's the entertainment they bring and the love, and the care and the camaraderie. It's really heartwarming, guys. Thank you. It really is. I got to give a thumbs up to everybody out there. I hope you're enjoying, and we'll do. And if you guys have any suggestions about Monday's show, we'll be glad to. We want to make it kind of, it's about nothing, but it is about something. It is about you guys, and it's us, brotherhood and sisterhood and Red. So that's what it's about. So.
Well, we're honored to have you. It is a two-way street. Absolutely, the show has grown. We've added some new cool stuff. We went from 30 minutes to almost an hour every week now, which was not intended, but we have so much to talk about, and the time slips away from you. It's just so much fun. Hello, Scott Parker.
It's his birthday.
That's what I was fixing to say. The very next word out of my mouth was, "Happy birthday to you, Scott Parker." Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Well, that means we've got to do, wow. We've got to do this, then. We've got to do, hold on here. I got to get to the, it's here somewhere. There it is.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Only a minute or only 30 seconds longer. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Ho, 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 and many more. Too much fun. All right. Any other questions? Any other comments? Anything anyone wants to say other than wish Scott a happy birthday? I know he's been busy, had a lot going on. Something many of you may not know about Scott, but he's involved, as many Santas are, in the spook world. We got Halloween coming up not too far down the road, and Scott loves to get involved in the Halloween scene. So fantastic, Scott. Good to see you on here today. Want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in live today. And if you missed any portion of the show, go back and watch it again. If you just want to go back and watch again, that's fine too. You know where to find it. Tuesday Night Live show, and on Tuesday Night Live show for now, we haven't started putting those over on YouTube yet, but we plan on trying to get that done. I think F. Angela tried a week or so ago and was having some difficulties. Real quick, want to upgrade everyone on, huh?
Scott.
Yeah, she did. She conducted there, Scott. She did. She was on. She was getting into the music.
So anyway, want to upgrade everyone on our situation here. We've been having some cable problems. I don't know if that had anything to do with some of the audio problems we had last week. It seems that Randyl was having a little bit of issue. Did you change out your microphone or anything?
No, I'm still using the same snowball. So this week it's not causing a problem.
Well, we got a message from our local cable company, which is Spectrum, by the way, and said that they was detecting some issues at our address from their system. So we had a repairman out earlier this week. He went out, climbed up on the line, and the squirrels had eaten into the double coating on the cable coming into the house, the drop line. So he replaced a piece of it, new fittings, and things seem to be working better on our end. So if it was on our end, we apologize, but got to put the blame on somebody. It was that squirrel that done it. Blame it on the
pesky squirrels,
They run up and down these lines all day long. You see them, running both directions, and evidently there was something up there on that line that covering that covered up the cable, the outer protective coating or something. The guy brought the piece down to me and showed it to me, and it was significant. So, and it was on top. So of course, if any rain got in there from last week, that could have been the issue, he said. So anyway, just glad to have it fixed. Ted plan, yeah, nuts, fantastic. All right, Randy, you want to take us out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna say one thing to Ted before I take us out of here. Ted, Ted's a great idea. He said to give us an idea about we can come up with one tough question. We can do that every week. Great idea, and great to see you, Nathan. Thanks, man. But it is that time already. But I want to say thank you guys again very, very much. I want to say a thumbs up to everybody. Most of all, remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, most of all, stay magical, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, guys. Thanks, Bob, Angela. You guys are great. And everybody out there, thank you so much.
Just remember, 3 p.m. here on Mondays, 7 p.m. on Tuesday nights, the Tuesday Night Live Show. Catch us tomorrow night with our guest, Bill Dendy. Until next week, Monday, and until tomorrow night, have a great, safe, and blessed week. Thank you all. God bless. Good night.